Okay. Appreciate you guys sticking around this afternoon. I'd like to start by giving a shout-out to our volleyball team. They're getting ready to play with a chance to go back to the Final Four again. Jared Elliott, one of the elite coaches in the country, done an incredible job building an incredible program here at the University of Texas. Really excited about the opportunity they have tonight on Stanford's home court with the chance to go back to the Final Four and compete for a back-to-back national championship. They've had an incredible year, won the Big 12 championship, and we'll be pulling hard for them tonight to come out with the victory and get back to the Final Four. Today, I thought we had pretty good effort today. I thought, again, we've really trying to emphasize trying to play really hard right now, especially on the defensive end of the floor. We're trying to prepare ourselves for conference play, and every night in conference play, you got to really play hard. Not trying to play perfect. You got to make mistakes, but you make them going hard and really have a mentality where everything's personal defensively. As an individual defender, as a team defender, sitting down trying to guard. And I think, again, we came in Friday and had a really good mindset in terms of really trying to work really hard on that end of the floor, keeping it simple on offense, looking to push the ball when we can in transition, making simple plays, trying to play inside out, trying to get more paint touches and not settling. And, again, just, maturing in our journey here early in the season with not playing the scoreboard and really just trying to get better ourselves each and every possession, whether it be in practice or games.
Questions for the players first. Eric, go ahead.
This one's for both Dylan and Caden. When we spoke with Coach Terry yesterday, he said he felt he had to do a better job instilling the effort that was going to be needed, especially come time of Big 12 play. Just wondering, how you guys received that message and, because kind of was the impetus to really kind of go out there and put forth the effort needed.
Yeah, after watching the Marquette film, we kind of saw that the effort was lacking a bit at times. We saw guys like Kendall played really hard, and so we all have to bring that effort. And I think it was better this game, and we just got to keep building on that. And towards as we get towards conference play, we got to be playing with 100% effort all the time.
Terry in the back, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I just felt like it all came down to going back to the film, learning from the loss, and seeing what we needed. I feel like that was a game where it exposed some things that we needed to work on. And so we came back. We know what we need to do. We know, no matter how mistakes you made, it's about how hard you play. And that's what, Coach Terry is trying to install, and that's just go hard, and he has no problems with mistakes. Not everybody's perfect. You're not going to have a perfect game, but if you're going hard, there's no problem with it. So, we want to be those teams that just plays as hard as we can and doesn't give up. It doesn't take plays off, defends, rebounds, and just really install that whole playing hard and the effort, making sure the effort's there.
Terry, go ahead.
Dylan, when I was watching you play, the first thought that came to mind is he's playing as if NBA scouts are watching him. 12 rebounds. Coming into today, what was your mindset? What was your objective and your goal for today?
My first objective and goal was to get the win. And, that's the biggest goal this whole season is to win games, be able to compete for a national championship, a Final Four, be one, the best team in the Big 12. That's my first objective. That's my first goal for this whole season. And then for me, it's about building my identity. Right now we're in December. It's about the details. So for my game, it's about rebounding and guarding. Those are my two calling cards I want it to be in order to, have the opportunities for whenever that time is to come. But those are my two calling cards, rebounding and guarding. And, I look at, a lot of players. I remember Coach played some film of Herb Jones. And, I kind of want to be a player like that, a player like Jared Vanderbilt. One of those guys who's just like goes out there and knows their role, guards, rebounds. At the next level, everybody has a superstar. It's about being that type of guy that you could put next to the superstar to, help them and help the team win and doing all the little things.
Thomas, go ahead in front.
Mitch or Caden, I don't know how much practice time y'all got after Marquette, but what was that time on the court like in practice? Because was there like an extra intensity or anything?
Yeah, definitely. Nobody likes losing like that. So coming back, but we had to keep moving forward, and I think we had to have a different approach to practice every day. I think that's the biggest thing. We got to stay consistent. That's one of our biggest things, staying consistent. But just the intensity, going hard. That's what every practice needs to look like. After not even after a loss like that, but even after wins. No matter how much we won by, no matter what the score was, every practice needs to be hard if we want to get to where we want to get.
JT?
Caden, I thought coming off the Marquette game where they were getting a lot of rim pressure and scoring a lot down low, tonight they were still getting a lot of rim pressure, but it seemed like you had one of your best games as a rim protector. What kind of worked differently for you?
Yeah, I mean, I like to communicate with my guards a lot. They're still learning kind of how to play with me. So I kind of tell my guards to, kind of wall up, handle them down low, and then I'll go up top and try and get it. So, I've been communicating with them on that, and then just slowly getting my timing back like how it used to be. I think I'm getting there. I'm seeing progression in that every day, and, I'm starting to feel like better as a shot blocker right now.
Last one for players. Mark, front left.
Dylan, what happened? The game was like almost even midway through the half, and then you guys went on that run and you started making steals and forcing turnovers. What changed for you guys?
I say just the intensity, but it shouldn't be like that. Every game we need to come in. That first 4 minutes, that last 4 minutes, and the first 4 minutes, that second half. Our intensity has to be high. We got to come out and set the tone from the jump, and it starts with our defense. And I think for this game particularly, it was rebounding. We came off good, and then they started to get a lot of offensive rebounds, and that's where we started to see them scoring a lot, them getting out in transition, and then scoring off their rebounds, off the second chance points, and then we got a little bit of stretch once we kind of started rebounding a little bit more, and then towards the end of the game they came out in the second half and started rebounding, getting offensive rebounds. So I think for this game in particular, it was about the rebounding battle, and both those the big guys, they had double figure rebounds. So I think this game in particular, it came down to the rebound battle.
Thanks, Dylan. Thanks, Caden.
Appreciate y'all.
Questions? Raise your hands. Questions for Coach, please. Thomas, go ahead.
All right, Coach, from your perspective, what was the practice like? What did you ask them to do maybe that beyond anything you'd asked them before in practice after Marquette? And number two, Dylan Dessou was moved around well in warm-ups. Any timeline on him?
Well, with the first part of that, Thomas, again, you give Marquette a lot of credit. Those guys played great on their home court. I felt like, again, could we have had a little bit more competitive effort in terms of how hard we played? For sure. We got a chance to visually see that as a team. And the one thing you can handle losing a game if you're super competitive. You go out and compete at an unbelievable level and a team beats you. But when a team beats you and you didn't feel like you gave your best effort in that regards, then we won as a staff, myself, I have to try to address that and, look at myself and see what I could do better to help my group of guys. And, and then I've got to convey that to them and get them to understand what that looks like. And then we have to take it to the court. And we have to have carryover. And I thought Friday we had a really intense practice. Thought guys came in and really tried to play hard defensively. We tried to clean up our pick and roll defense. Thought we did a really good job of that in practice. Thought we were pretty good. At it today, I'd be interested to see what the tape looks like with that coverage. I thought again, our one-on-one defense, keeping guys out of the paint. We still have to continue to try to improve that, and we've got to be pesky and scrappy, especially with our guards out front, and not let teams get into the teeth of our defense. And then we have to be able to, finish possessions. We have to have physical mindset to where we're all going to block out and we're all going to put our body on guys and keep guys off the glass. Dessou's made a lot of good progress. Warren and our staff's done a great job with him, bringing him along, Corey and those guys working with him. There's a chance, an opportunity at some point where he'll be back with us. He's already back practicing with us right now. He's going to have a full week of work with us this next week, and we'll kind of gauge and see what that looks like at the end of the week.
Eric, go ahead, please.
Coach, two-part question for you. One, just want to talk about, you mentioned yesterday about closing out halves. Doesn't get much better than the 19-0 run the first half. So just your early assessment on how the team did closing out halves. And the second part of the question is Max with 7 assists. Just how you feel he's doing as a ball distributor.
Yeah, Eric, again, I think we had 16 assists, in the game against Marquette. We try to strive to have 18 to 20 in games where we're sharing the ball and that ball is popping side to side. And more importantly, I think our emphasis over the last couple of days has been we've got to get more paint touches. We're not getting to the foul line the way we need to get to the foul line. And, in order to do that, you got to put pressure on the basket, create an opportunity for yourself or for a teammate. put the ball in the post, let our guys have some paint touches in there. Thought we did a good job today of not selling. Thought at Marquette we settled. We didn't get the ball to the paint. We shot no free throws at the half. I think we only shot 2 tonight at the half, and everything. But we've got to continue to put pressure on the basket and develop an identity in terms of that we're gonna make you have to guard, inside out. I think again we got to continue to distribute the ball. Max is really good at that. He understands what he's looking for, and he's played point guard his whole career. And he's one of those guys that does a great job initiating offense and distributing the ball as well.
Mark, go ahead.
Weaver had 6 rebounds. Do you feel like he's continued the momentum as that energy guy like Brock after the Marquette game?
Yeah, we need our guards to rebound. Anytime our guards can come down and rebound for us, it really helps our break as well. If we're asked in like we will in a lot of big games, even in our game Saturday against LSU, we're going to ask our big guys to have physical blockouts. Our guards have got to come down and rebound for us. I thought he did a nice job of that. Tyrese has shown that he could do that in the past for us as well. But our guards have got to come down and rebound if we're asking our big guys to hold their guys off the glass.
Terry in the back, go ahead.
Coach, you see the game completely different than anyone else. Is there some specifics that you noticed, those fine details that nobody else will see, but that you liked about the game and maybe you didn't like about the game?
I think again our white line defense, which is our help side defense, we're really stressing and placing emphasis on that right now, and being able to go from help side defense back out to a closing out to a shooter or closing out to a driver. Those are areas early in our journey right now that we have to continue to get better. And we can't close out and have a guy get to the teeth of our defense. We can't close out with a hand down and have a guy tee up a 3 on us. I'm looking at our tags, and our pick and roll coverage, our high tag, our low tag. We're on the white line, which is our help side defense. We're not giving up easy baskets with rolls to the basket. So I'm really watching that, and along with no blow-bys up top. Our guys got to stay in front of the basketball and not let teams get into the teeth of our defense.
JT, go ahead.
Coach Dillon kind of alluded to it, but the Huskies kind of start both halves pretty strong. They're hanging in there with you guys, and then by the midway point of both of those halves, you guys are it's kind of Texas, all Texas. What are kind of the adjustments you're preaching to them in the huddle, and then how can you kind of work to build out a more consistent wire-to-wire game?
Well, I think, again, you've got to continue to just have a mentality that we're not trying to trade baskets. We're trying to get separation, and a lot of times early in our journey this season, we've been able to get separation through our defense and offense from our defense, just sitting down, guarding hard, and having a mentality to where it's personal individually and it's personal as a team, to where we're trying to play as hard as we can as a unit and finish possessions. We started the game with no kills, and kills are consecutive stops, and our goal every game is to try to have 7 to 8 of those just to give yourself a chance to win a game. You need 7 to 8 of those throughout the course of a game. We started probably the first 8 minutes of the game, and we had 0 kills, and we finished the half with 7, meaning that we put 3 consecutive stops together for 7 times. We ended up with 11 for the game. And we just have to have that kind of mentality where we're putting consecutive stops together. And then we got to go down and we have to score on our terms. We've got to try to play inside out, get some paint touches, and not settle.
Terry, go ahead.
Coach, I was talking to Dylan. He has a different confidence about him, different play. Who's next? Who's coming up behind him so that when 5 of those guys have that confidence, you're unstoppable?
Well, Terry, that's a great point. I think, coming out of the Marquette game, we really, we need a room full of guys that play like Kendall Weaver and Brock Cunningham with that kind of competitive spirit. We have that kind of competitive spirit. Now you're talking about putting yourself in conversation and opportunities to compete at the level we need to in the Big 12. But just being competitive, it's all want to. I think he's really bought into this year, understanding, that I have to have an elite motor on offense, on defense. I've got to be a big-time defender. I've got to rebound my position at a high level. I'll continue to develop and work on my game from an offensive standpoint, but really, what translates to giving him an opportunity at the next level and being a really productive player in college is doing those things at a very high level and taking it personal in regards to doing those.
Thanks all. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.